Biden administration has been working overtime to sell the American people a fantasy. The president would like working families who struggled under 2 years of soaring inflation believe they're refrain that Bidenomics is working for America. The White House press secretary declared recently that, quote, people are feeling better about their personal finances. If only that were true. Unfortunately, the American people have too many reasons to believe their financial outlook is worse today, worse than when the president took office. According to a survey conducted last month, just 24% of voters say the American economy is on the right track. Less than a third buy the claim that this administration's policies are bringing costs down for working families, and just 22% think inflation is getting any better. So, Madam President, no matter how many ways the administration officials spin the numbers, folks who work for a living and manage a family budget know that Bidenomics has made their lives harder. They know that prices have risen 16.6% since the president took office because they feel it every time they pay their bills. Energy prices, for example, are 38% higher than they were in January of 2021. Groceries are 20% more expensive. In Washington State, one man reported recently that soaring rent had forced him to move, take on a longer commute, spend more on gas, and put his goal of home ownership on hold. In Illinois, one woman told a reporter recently she had paid $90 for groceries that would feed her family of 3 for 3 days and might have to start visiting food pantries. Quote, you have no choice but to sacrifice, she said. So look at it this way. During the first terms of the last 4 administrations before this one, year-on-year inflation never cracked 4%.
Greetings, friends. Will an economic recession occur in the United States this year? Many top economists are asking this question as the Federal Reserve considers another interest rate hike. But some lawmakers are concerned as to how a recession will affect the millions of Americans who are struggling financially because of inflation. Another round of federal relief payments may go out if a recession does occur this year. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates to their highest level in 22 years in an aggressive bid to curb inflation. There is a chance that more rate increases may still be on tap if the economy's strength causes inflation to rebound. Investors looking ahead to the next phase of the Fed strategy are now asking themselves, how much longer will rates stay this high? But inflation's uncertain path makes that a very tough question. Some investors are betting on rate cuts as soon as early next year, perhaps on expectations that the economy may soon deteriorate. For example, if unemployment spikes because of higher interest rates, the Fed would likely cut rates to stem job losses under its mandate of maximum employment. The Federal Reserve has not given any hint of rate cuts just yet. In fact, according to minutes from its last meeting in July, quite the opposite seems likely. Rate cuts would mean the Fed is looking to boost an economy that's not doing well enough to promote full employment. But in contrast, the Fed's suggestion of rate hikes implies they see the U.S. economy is still running too hot and might not be consistent with 2% inflation. In addition to the possibility of cutting rates because of an economic downturn, the Fed could also cut rates if inflation slows too much. And even if and when the cuts do begin, it's unlikely the Fed would return to its ultra-low interest rates like in the years before the crisis. The United States economy's remarkable strength this summer has kept some Fed officials on edge about getting inflation to fall back to 2%. The Consumer Price Index rose 3.2% in July from 1 year earlier. Both investors and the Fed are closely watching consumer spending, which could signal either more rate hikes if spending heats up too much, or a recession and the increased likelihood of rate cuts if it cools too quickly. One unfortunate truth of recessions is that millions of Americans often lose their jobs. As spending slows and the economy shrinks, business profits also go down. To keep their profit margins afloat, companies often slow hiring and start firing to trim their budget. 22 million Americans were put out of work in the beginning of 2020. During the Great Recession of the later 2000s, unemployment over doubled. The United States is unusual in that a substantial portion of our workforce relies on their jobs for healthcare access. That means that when recession comes around, people find their healthcare access swept out from under them. While private insurance access does exist, it is far more expensive when your employer is not footing the bill. As such, many people who lose insurance during recessions remain uninsured until they find a new job. And though you have insurance premiums, if a medical emergency arises, you'll probably pay more out of pocket even if you keep your job. Pay raise and health insurance. You will likely tighten your budget during a recession. For one thing, prices get sticky during a recession as businesses attempt to bolster dwindling profit margins. In the current economy, ongoing supply chain issues means that everything from eggs to computers are more expensive than ever. Another way that recessions affect the average person is that the credit access all too often declines. Even if you have the income to support a loan right now, lenders are more wary of handing out money when everyone's job security is on the line. They may heavily scrutinize your financials, credit score, and even credit history. Congress can authorize stimulus payments whether the Fed likes it or not. Stimulus checks or programs have been used at many points over the years to fill gaps or restart consumer spending, so it's possible for Congress to approve more rounds of federal stimulus checks if the United States undergoes an economic recession this year. Well, my beautiful and amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dear friends, thank you so very much for being here every day and for being part of this community. To say thank you, every Friday I will be giving away Walmart gift cards. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaways, all you have to do, friends, is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.